respected dignitaries out here, and I would say all the office bearers of the association. Thank you very much for this opportunity given to me to present you the very, I would say, a topic which is very near to our heart, which is electronics and semiconductors. We all are connected. I think, with this field, I think as our association is more than 80 years old, what we are, just now we've been mentioned by Mitesh Bhai out here. This is a very unique thing when I see that electronics over the period, we started with probably radio as one of the communication side, and now when we look at it, it's become very integral part of human lifestyle. I think, and in our journey, we see that, this is something without this, it's like becoming like an essential like air, water, and food. I think that's becoming a lifestyle requirement. It is very important for India to become Atmanirbhar, and I think government has realized that very important point. And over the period, I think there have been policies time and again, previously also with previous governments. But I think this time, I think we have more focus from the government side to lead manufacturing and to create, I would say some unique opportunities where people can excel. And we are at a unique position in the world economic situation when we look at it, where the electronic growth is growing exponentially, and there is a huge demand, and we have a huge population to serve. So I think this is some of the important points where we, as economy, have realized that other than an oil bill, we have an electronic bill which is supposed to be growing very, very fast, and as an economy, we need to I would say invest into strategically into creating the future of semiconductor and electronic opportunities. To few who don't know about us, probably I'll just quickly run through what we do. We at Panache Digilife are an ICT and IoT design to manufacturing firm. When we started, I would say in the field of IT and electronics, we started with assembling as a process. When I think everybody was getting out of assembling and assembling processes out of India, we said, we want to build things, and we created, I think, unique opportunities out of India. And I think we are proud to say that most of the petrol pumps, have few control systems which are, running there. They are running with our engines, inside. We have most of the ATVMs, which is very, dispensing ticketing, out for, railways. They have computing, which, we serve them. More than 40,000 classrooms, which are live and running right now, which are smart classroom, which we have built technologies, which are patented with working with, IIT Mumbai and other, bodies. So we contributed to, over the period, we've seen that we contributed in box building, designing, and making products, really out of India. And some of our products have even gone, being manufactured out of India, we have even gone outside India. So we have exported to probably, our products have been exported indirectly, directly to more than 9 countries, as we speak. Some of the key things which I will, speak about, our design philosophy, is based about the ABCD of technology. We make it very simple in terms of technology, where, we say you need to be in, we all need to be in artificial intelligence in the current times. I think that's something which we all see and value. We need to be, aware about big data, because whatever we are consuming, every second, every minute of our data is all about big data. It's getting connected, or your data is getting stored somewhere. And this intelligence, is supposed to be translated into AI, and that's where the next money is. And one of the important points, I think, which India realized very long back was connectivity. I think for 2 decades, we are enjoying good connectivity. I think it was at one point of time when we used to travel to some other countries, I used to feel that India is blessed with better connectivity than some of the even good developed economies. So we had good connectivity and telecom services earlier also. And now is the time when I see that the C, which is our connectivity platform, with 5G coming up, probably in a year's time when we are hearing from the ministry, we see that 5G is going to be exponentially creating a huge demand for devices. I think this is going to be a game changer to look about in the connectivity space when we look at it. And D, which is out of our ABCD. So D is our devices, and we say that this is devices in the connected world. So in this connected world, we all need to be, we all are carrying some of the other devices. We have one device which is phone, then we have translated into iPads, or probably we'll have laptops and desktops. So these are all productivity devices which we have. And look at the consumption devices which you have in electronics now. You have tons of it. Even in automotives, when you look at it, there are more than now 200 sensors in every vehicle. look at the type of sensors which are going into making an automotive, and the coming generation EVs, it's going to be it's a game of electronics now. It's no more a game of petrol, which we see. So that's going to be huge churn there. Just to explain a few more things, we are focused and become an IT and telecom PLI. We applied for that, and because of that, government has granted us, production link incentives. So we are focusing more on in these two fields for growth and development. So that this is something which is in short about us. This is our facility in Bhiwandi, Maharashtra. So we are very much present here, sir, here. And these are some of our technologies and products which we proudly built out of India. And we are, I think very soon we'll make some announcements in the IT side. Yeah, so coming to an agenda, let me speak on the specific agenda. I will not speak more about Manoj because I can keep going on and on. I think for those of you who are interested to connect to me, I think we can connect offline for other interest of business. Yeah, so coming to the agenda items, which is there, which is electronic industry and strategic importance. So I think I just want you to all get a high-level picture where we are, what we are doing, so that you all can then connect to how we can look at the opportunity. What is the opportunity size and what is the TAM? So whatever data which I am probably presenting here is the data which is public domain, is from the government side, which is there. So recently, I would say there is a publishing which has happened by MeitY. He's published this document. So MeitY has published a document which is saying that Indian IT electronics business is going to be around 300 billion market. Now, out of which 300 billion, we are going to say 180 billion is going to be Indian consumption. Now, you will all question me. I just mentioned that 300 billion is going to be a overall market for India, and out of which 180 billion is going to be a consumption, which is domestic consumption. So where is this 120 billion going to be about? This 120 billion is an opportunity for exports. So this is a huge opportunity which the government is focusing upon. And the sectors, we can look at it. There are some sectors which I've probably picked up from the from the publication. So mobile industry, when you look at the component ecosystem for mobile, is growing exponentially. Is growing from 34 billion to 165 billion market. At the same time, IT, which is your ICT devices, which are PC and tablet devices, even the production, which is domestic consumption, plus when you look at the export opportunity, that's also growing very fast. So I think we need to all have an eye on it. I think in this pandemic, we all realized the importance of IT. I think whoever was not digitized got digitized very clearly, and the government is very happy that all those manual invoices and things are gone out, and I think everybody is almost digitized. Whoever wanted to progress and move forward, I think from the business era, it has moved forward in that regard. I think coming to the next slide, when it's there, we spoke about the ESDM potential is very high. Electronic manufacturing in other countries, when you look at China, I figured out there is, the Indian, I would say GDP contribution is less than 4%. And if you all contribute and focus towards increasing the GDP, and the electronic contribution to the GDP, I think other countries like China and Taiwan are more than 10%. Why this is important is, again, I mentioned to you, the importance of contribution, because like a contribution to oil, which is there as well as to electronics. So electronic contribution increase is necessary, because once the value of production or the GDP value increases, we are able to even export. So that's the value creation which we will do. That is, the country will become more and more self-reliant and more, I would say, revenue generating in a global scenario. Yeah, some of the areas, for few of us, just to look at it. Again, these are curated data to look at which are the fastest and the heaviest investment growing because electronics is quite wide. So if you look at automotives, you will see lots of new things, which I mentioned to you about the BS6 norms. Itself is going to be, creating, huge, opportunity, more than huge number of sensors. Same with the telecom, I mentioned. Same with the industrial, consumer, there, and the smart city solution. So I think there's huge opportunity on this area out to it. Again, I think these are some of the few areas of value addition. We need to all focus on higher value addition, components, and the, I would say the assembly side. I think these are all value proposition which I foresee coming in. Next one. This is the global scenario. I have briefly mentioned about what is the importance of it in the global situation. I think it's a huge trillion-dollar opportunity. Well, some of the key value addition which is there, which is we need to focus on, say, 40% of the value addition, which is captured in the passive components area, and then the IP creation. So I think this is the area where we should look at the more and more focus should be the IP creation and the value creation. I think few of the next slides, will show us there are few opportunities which I can probably share with you later on. Is the DLI schemes, which is design link incentive schemes. So if some of us are interested in the designing of the chunk components and the VLSI design, I think this is a good opportunity to participate. In the next slide, I will talk about is the government of India is offering up to 15 crores of incentives per enterprise, and this is a 3-year open scheme. I think somebody who's very serious about these things, the government is giving 50% grant against 50% of your contribution. That's a huge amount of money which government is pumping in this scheme. And this is going to be a huge opportunity. And this is, I think, everybody wanted to hear about it. There is the scheme which is required for the government. I think the FAB scheme, which everybody was looking forward for it. There is a policy now. So in the policy, they have announced they have divided things into different categories. We have category for logic, we have category for memories, and we have category for passive devices. So we have different categories there. I think the most important is the policies in place, the investments and the criteria are in place. The investments have been committed by few companies already. I think we will see something very soon happening. There's a few more display fabs also. And I think this is almost my last slide. This is something about doable, which is a minimum investment of 50 CR for 80 MP type. So thank you very much for hearing me out. I think I hope I have been able to quickly give you some insight about what exactly is going in the electronic policy side. I think we all should see how can we contribute towards this growth phase of India and Make in India. I think with this, in the coming times, I will see more and more industry people, moving from traditional distribution and trading and bringing in the principal companies to do manufacturing in India. I think, thank you very much for this opportunity. Thank you.